What up, everybody? It's your boy, the Infinite Dragon here, and I gotta be a little bit quieter because my roommate's back there sleeping. Today we're gonna be watching Sonic's Dr. Eggman / Dr. Robotnik Did You Know Gaming. Some of you guys probably are like painfully aware I am a huge fan of Sonic the Hedgehog. So let's get into this.
Did you know? Rather than the iconic villain we know today, Dr. Eggman was first conceived as a protagonist. In 1990, Sega's in-house development team, AM8, were tasked with creating a mascot to rival Nintendo's Mario. They experimented with several concepts before finally choosing one of Yuji Naka's ideas, a character that could curl into a ball to smash through obstacles. It was around this time that Sega hit upon the simple idea of making an egg-shaped character. Artist Naoto Oshima's original sketch was close to Dr. Eggman's eventual design, besides the polka dot pajamas. He was also made circular, so he was easy for children to draw. The team were fond of the character and kept the sketch even after they'd moved on with a different hero design. As the protagonist's role had been filled, they decided to recast this egg character as the villain. Eggman's iconic mustache, glasses, and grin bear a strong resemblance to Theodore Roosevelt, 26th President of the United States. That said, it's unknown if this was intentional or a simple coincidence. Eggman was also intended to embody industrial development, to rival Sonic's environmental themes. Ironically, Roosevelt was himself an environmentalist. He created wildlife sanctuaries throughout the US and founded the National Conservation Commission. When Sonic Adventure released in the West, fans were surprised by some of the game's canonical differences to the rest of the series. The villain they knew as Dr. Robotnik had been renamed Dr. Eggman, and Sonic now lived on Earth as opposed to Planet Mobius. The reasons behind these changes go back to 1991, when Sonic the Hedgehog was being prepared for release in America and Europe. Sega of America were given very little information on the Japanese story, and wrote their own account of the Sonic world known as the Sonic Bible. The Sonic Bible was an attempt to fill gaps in the story, and was rewritten several times. One early draft cast Sonic as a normal hedgehog in Nebraska, whose father had drowned in a poisoned pond. While the setting would change drastically throughout the drafting stages, Robotnik's origin story remained largely the same. The story says he was once the selfless scientist Dr. Ovi Kintobor, who attempted to rid the planet of pollution by drawing all of the world's evil into the Chaos Emeralds. Unfortunately, a freak accident caused Kintobor to fuse with the evil energy and a rotten egg, transforming him into Dr. Ivo Robotnik. The Sonic Bible was never released publicly, but the story was still considered canon by Sega's divisions in America and Europe. It even became the foundation for tie-in publications like Stay Sonic and Sonic the Comic. The name Dr. Ivo Robotnik itself was suggested by Dean Sitton, a game counselor at Sega of America. As one of Sonic's earliest playtesters at Sega of America, Sitton would often be asked to join brainstorming sessions for new storylines and character names. Sitton suggested many names, including Mr. Bad Wrench, Mr. Bad Year, Dr. Bad Vibes, Nasty McRotten, and Fatty Lobotnik.
Fatty Lobotnik in Dr. Bad Voice. I think my favorite one is still I can't remember what he says in Sonic Colors. Baldy McNosehead, that's what it was. Baldy McNosehead. That's my favorite one.
Before Robotnik's final name. The name Ivo was chosen because it vaguely sounds like evil, and had multiple secrets hidden within it. The word spelled backwards is Ovi, which references the doctor's original name before fusing with a rotten egg, and the Latin prefix for egg, Ovi. It might seem like the name Robotnik was derived from the word robot, but it's actually the other way around. The 1920s play by Karl Čapek, titled Rossum's Universal Robots, was the first recorded use of the word robot in the English language. It referred to a subclass of synthetic people made to be slaves. The word was coined by Čapek's brother, and was derived from Robotnik, the Czech word roughly meaning servant or slave. The word robot would go on to become a widely used term for man-made automatons. Sitton heard the term Robotnik and thought it was a good fit for the character.
Interesting.
The Sonic Bible was considered canon until Sonic Adventure released in 1999, when the Japanese continuity was adopted worldwide. To address the confusion surrounding Eggman's name, his two names were combined into one. Yuji Naka explained in an interview that Dr. Ivo Robotnik was the character's real name, with Eggman being an insulting nickname used by Sonic & Company. Sega had already done something similar in the series, combining two potential names for Sonic's sidekick into Miles Tails Prower. This compromise is only true for Western audiences, however, as the name Dr. Robotnik has never been officially adopted in Japan. According to Eggman's Sonic Channel profile, his real name is unknown, but some references to the name Robotnik have slipped through the cracks. In the Japanese version of Sonic Adventure 2, Eggman's grandfather is called called Gerald Robotnik, and the words Robotnik Empire can be seen in the background of a cutscene. The Sonic Triple Trouble level Robotnik Winter also retains its name in Japan. Dr. Eggman's name wasn't the only thing that changed between continuities. The character's appearance was completely altered for the first animated Sonic adaptation, The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Animator Milton Knight was responsible for Robotnik's redesign, interpreting him as the perfect image of self-love. Robotnik's narcissism manifested as a focus on sex appeal, which was used for comic effect. Animators began drawing attention to his bottom in particular, leading Knight to claim that he was animation's sexiest fat man. The writers soon picked up on the joke, finding excuses to dress Robotnik up in different outfits. Robotnik was recreated in order to make him more expressive, with Knight instructing the show's animators to defy conventional wisdom and go off-model if they thought it would make a scene funnier. The design change became the template for much of Robotnik's merchandising in the West, which resulted in some confusion. For example, different versions of Sonic Spinball have a different Robotnik on their covers. The Genesis version features the original Eggman design, but the Game Gear version featured the cartoon Robotnik. The game Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine was simply a reskinned Puyo Puyo for the Sega Genesis. This version of Robotnik was redesigned yet again for Sonic's second animated series known as SAT-AM. In 1993, Dr. Cliff Tabin discovered a protein essential to embryo development in many animals, including humans. This protein was named Sonic Hedgehog at the request of Dr. Robert Riddle, after his 6-year-old daughter brought a copy of Sonic the Comic back from England. The name attracted outrage from members of the scientific community. Many of Tabin's collaborators hated the name, having grown up in Liverpool where Sonic was a slang term for groovy. And more seriously, many scientists felt the name trivialized an important protein and gene. The gene was linked to several serious conditions, and it would be inappropriate to tell a parent that their child's illness involves Sonic Hedgehog. However, the name stuck, and when a molecule was found that potentially inhibited the Sonic Hedgehog gene, it was named Robotnikinen, in honor of Sonic's arch-nemesis. Despite supposedly having an IQ of over 300, Dr. Eggman is often portrayed as a clumsy buffoon. In the 1996 Sonic movie, this was done to show a more human side to the character in spite of his evil deeds. Did you also know that Sega and Nintendo considered making a Mario and Sonic platforming game multiple times? For more Sonic facts, check out the Did You Know Gaming video on Mario and Sonic. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like this video, give it a like.
You might check that out later. Listen guys, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like. The original video is in the description. I can't talk too much longer because my camera's about to die, so if you guys want me to react to anything, put it in the comments. I'll link Did You Know Gaming up in the everywhere, and that's about it. So later.